carrying out some rather dangerous experiments in time travel. You've already registered readings of 0.4 on the Broca scale. And what do you want me to do about it? Persuade them to stop if you can. Or at least just suspend the experiments while we evaluate their work. We can't be seen to intervene formally, of course. Officially, you'll be an unofficial ambassador. You should enjoy a visit to Camelot, Doctor. I hear they've got an excellent chef. As Sardon droned on, the Doctor sat down again, feeling reasonably content with the way things were going. There was a painful interview with Serena's family to get through, of course, but his account of her death would make them proud of her. And he'd see that the High Council issued a glowing tribute. It was the least he could do. And for a moment, the Doctor was saddened by the memory of Serena. Then he rallied, trying to cheer himself up. After all, his next mission didn't sound too difficult. Old Starry would huff and puff, but he'd probably be able to talk to him in the end. And he looked down. And it would be nice to see Jamie McCrimmon once more. Yes. It would be nice to see him once more. The Doctor was stood in the room, which he had not seen since Jamie and Zoe were snatched away from him and forced back to their own times. "Back here again, I see," he said, trying to make light of the situation with a fellow Time Lord. But said Time Lord gave him a blank stare. Never mind. He gripped his lapels and sighed. Sardon entered the room. "Ah, you're here, great. I have no choice. I did everything you asked, now you return Jamie to me." "Ah, yes, about that, Doctor. We are happy to return Mr. McCrimmon to you, of course, under one condition." "Go on." "Did you both work for the CIA?" "Both work for the CIA?" "Well, yes, we've had other species work for us before. Weeping Angels, even a Dalek at one point." "Weeping Angels? Daleks? Since when?" "When is none of your concern, Doctor. Now, are we agreed that you and Mr. McCrimmon will work for the Celestial Intervention Agency?" "Yes. Power up the time scoop." The blank-faced Time Lord pulled a lever as a gushing white glow raced into the room. The glow eventually faded, and there stood James Robert McCrimmon. "What? Jamie! Doctor, where's Zoe?" I couldn't get her back. But Zoe, she won't remember." "It was either I get you or Zoe back. And I chose you." "Right, enough rambling. Your first mission awaits you, Doctor." "Mission? All in good time, Jamie. You'll travel to the planet Halydia." "Halydia? What for?" "The fugitive lies." "Name?" "Crysalia." "I know that name. An old Time Lord witch." "Of course. Come along, Jamie." Jamie leaves the room. Sardon grabs the Doctor's arm. "Doctor, what we've done, it can only be done for a short amount of time." "What are you talking about?" "Doctor, you coming?" Just a minute, Jamie." The reversal of Jamie's memory wipe. It doesn't last long. If we fail to get him back within a certain amount of time, he'll be... "Jamie is back with me now. And let's get one thing straight here. Nothing will stop us from doing your work. Now leave me." The Doctor shakes Sardon off of him. "On your head be it, Doctor. On your head be it." Halydia, the doctor and Jamie roam around. They said a camp. I can't see a camp, Doctor. We'll know it when we see it, Jamie. Doctor, look, there it is. Behind me, Jamie. Crysalia, she's dangerous. Well, if it isn't the doctor. A woman wearing a pink jumpsuit with grey hair with pink highlights and purple lipstick stood out. Crysalia, it's been a while. Yeah, so long. When was the last time I saw you? Was it your Lungbarrow days? Something like that. So, we gonna arrest her, or what? I'm sorry. Ah, yes, Crysalia, about that. About what, Doctor? The CIA. They've sent us to come and get you. Is this about what happened? You never told us why you did whatever it was that you did. Come inside. The Halydians. They'll be out soon. And they're not to be messed with. Especially not at night. The doctor and Jamie looked at each other and followed Crysalia into her tent. Inside of the tent, the doctor, Crysalia, and Jamie were sat on a log. Jamie looked around to see crystals, books of spells and potions and voodoo dolls spread out. So, what happened? As you remember, when Rassilon came into power, he wanted us, the Time Witches, to be abolished, to cease to exist or to stop believing in what we did. A few of us gave in, whilst I and a few others, we chose to fight and to stand up for what we believe in. Aye, like a protest. Like a protest, yeah. But things went south very quickly. Remember my dupes? The giant rock creatures, how could I forget? You always used to let them run riot in the academy and it would irritate Berlusa. Good times, eh? Yes, good times. Anyway, they went rogue. Didn't listen, someone in the war room, they tampered with the spells and the dupes. They went rogue and killed 100 of our people. And even caused Rassilon to regenerate. The others they caught and sent to execution for their crimes, but I ran because I stood up for what I believed in. And yes, I know it went wrong, but none of that would have happened if Rassilon didn't do what he did. You did go a bit far with the dupes, but I agree you've done nothing wrong. So if she's done nothing wrong, what are we doing here? I don't know, Jamie, I don't know. You could always go back to Gallifrey. Tell him I've left Halydia and gone somewhere else. You can even say there are rumours that I was trapped in E-space. That could work. So, that's what we're doing. Yes, Jamie, I'm afraid so. The doctor hugged Crysalia, and he and Jamie left the tent. Back on Gallifrey, the doctor and Jamie were stood waiting for Sardon. Eventually, Sardon entered the room. Well, she's gone. Gone. Allegedly trapped in E-space, or the Divergent Universe. I see. Well, I believe it was on purpose to get away from us. Yes. Well, come along, Jamie. Doctor. Yes. Have a small break. We can ease you in slowly then. What? Go somewhere, do whatever you do. Save people, stop the Daleks, stop the Centauran, stop the Weeping Angels, stop the Cybermen. Do something with your spare time. Yes, of course. The Doctor and Jamie walked towards the TARDIS. To new adventures, Doctor. Yes, to new adventures, Jamie. In Sardon's office, Sardon was sat with Rassilon. You really believe that she has gone, Lord Rassilon? Of course not. The Doctor shows compassion, and when people can, they use that compassion that the Doctor carries to their advantage. And when time comes, Jamie will pay for the Doctor's mistakes. You have been listening to Doctor Who Short Trips Destinies. His Name Was Jamie McCrimmon. Written by R.B. Wilson and performed by Ray Dunlap. Doctor Who Short Trips Destinies. His Name Was Jamie McCrimmon is a Fallout Productions production.